Hey YouTube, I'm just going to make a really quick pickups video, and keep an eye out tomorrow. I will be having my part 2 of my shelf tour, and it will be the final part of my shelf tour, so keep an eye out for that. I know a lot of people like my shelf tour, and I might show off a couple other pieces of my collection that are spruced around my house. But in the meantime, I do have a couple pickups, not as much as I usually get, but it's some pretty unique stuff. So first, I'm going to start off with some retro stuff, and this stuff I just got is in pristine condition. Pristine. I can't even, pristine is not even really a good enough word for how perfect these games are, especially for Game Boy games. So let me start off with Fortress of Fear, Wizards of Warrior 10. Don't know too much about this game, but it is from 1996, and look how perfect this looks. There's barely a dent or scratch on it. It is in like awesome condition. So that's that. And the rest of these are all Game Boy Advance. And this is Yoshi's Topsy Turvy. This is the one where the Yoshi actually has the little gyroscope inside, where you can actually shake the cartridge side to side. As you see, tilt control. But as you see, these are in mint pristine condition. Usually Game Boy games, if they do still have the box, are in the boxes are usually in pretty rough shape, but these are in pristine condition. So Yoshi Topsy Turvy, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and at the time I forgot I actually did have a copy of this already, so now I have 2 copies of this game. Actually 3, considering also remembering my loose copy, so I have 3 copies of this game. But it has the pristine box. This one is pretty interesting, pretty hard to find since it is a Pokemon game, and that is Pokemon Fire Red with the shiny cover. Very nice. Next is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This is the Four Swords version for the Game Boy Advance. Very nice. Nice crisp corners. Very nice. I'm going to have to put these in some plastic cases. And the last one is Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link from the classic NES series. Alright, so that's my Game Boy stuff. Keeping on with the handheld theme, I'm going to move on to some DS games. Get these set up. Alright, so here we have Planet Puzzle League, which is part of the Touch Generation games for the DS. It's actually a Nintendo title. Don't know too much about this game, but it just seems like it's just a standard puzzle game. This one right here is actually the second rarest DS game on the market, and that is Madden 09, interestingly. A lot of people don't consider sports games to be extremely rare, but this one in particular is the rarest. The reason why that is this is the last Madden game to ever be released on the DS, and also did not do very well at all. I think they only sold about a couple thousand units, and that's about it. So they do command a fairly high price on eBay. Unfortunately for me, when I did find this at a GameStop, that same day, early in that day, I did buy another copy off eBay. So I actually have 2 copies, and I guess that's okay. I guess I can sell one of them, but this is the second rarest DS game, Madden 09. Another game I got when I bought the Madden is Tao's Adventure: Curse of the Demon Seal, one of the early DS games from Konami. The only thing I know about this game is that you have to make, with the stylus, you have to make symbols or cartouches or something like that to cast spells, but that's pretty much all I know about this game. Not too much. I think this is an okay game, nothing groundbreaking, but it was $1.99, so I can really pass it up. This is another game I don't know too much about. I didn't even know this game really existed until I just found it at GameStop. Jake Hunter, Detective Story, Memories of the Past from Axis. Seems like a Hotel Dusk clone, but it has some pretty goofy animations in it. Don't know too much more than that, so I gotta try this out. Seems pretty interesting. And finally, another game I don't know too much about is Spectral Force Genesis from Ignition. Yeah, I'd never even seen a copy of this game until I just found it at GameStop. I think I picked it up for about $10 maybe. Seems like just a standard RPG. Nothing really to write home about. Alright, I did pick up 2 PSP games. First one is Pursuit Force Extreme Justice, a fairly early PSP game from Sony. Don't know too much about it, but just seems like a standard action shooting game. Fairly generic. And finally, for the PSP, I got Gradius Collection, or Gradius, however it's pronounced. This version of the game does come with Gradius 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's just pretty much just a standard collection. It's not even a remastered version. It's just pretty much a direct ports of the games, which is pretty good. All 5 of those games are fairly good. All right, got one singular PS2 game. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, nothing too spectacular, but this particular version is the first edition. The way you could tell that is usually the second editions would say second edition on the box. And the first edition did have the infamous hot coffee mod or something. It was very controversial, and then they had to edit it, which was in the later second edition versions. So these are pretty hard to find, the first editions of San Andreas. Alright, picked up a couple Wii games. This one I've actually been trying to get for a while. I actually do have a couple versions of this for the Dreamcast, the earlier versions of this game. This is Sakura Wars So Long My Love. There's actually 2 versions. There's one for the PS2, which I'm actually trying to find, and there's the Wii version. It's pretty much a mech RPG game, fairly interesting. The other versions on the Dreamcast are actually very good, except they're in Japanese, which I cannot understand. So I've actually been looking for this game for a while. It's a pretty hard game to find. It's by NIS America, which is it's actually a Sega game, but it was distributed by NIS. And another one that's pretty hard to find nowadays is Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World. For this, and this is the 10th anniversary of Tales games. So pretty cool. Not a big fan of Tales games, but I found it for GameStop at like $20, so it's couldn't really pass it up. All right, moving on to my bread and butter, the 360. So I'm going to start off with the standard 360 games, and then move on to the special stuff. Blockbuster was actually having a sale, buy one get one free on games, so I did pick up a couple games from Blockbuster. So I picked up Dirt 2, which is an awesome game, or I think in Europe it's Colin McRae's Dirt 2. Very good game. It's still very expensive. It actually went up in price due to Dirt 3 coming out. So I actually got this for about $6 at Blockbuster. I think GameStop's selling it for like $30. So this is a great game. Definitely pick it up. A game which I actually need to get a new box for is pretty hard to find. I actually bought this brand new and then sold it because I thought the game was kind of crappy, but then I played the game and it actually wasn't that bad. And that is Earth Defense Force 2017. It's actually a pretty hard game to find. It's actually fairly rare. It's a fairly bizarre game, not the best game in the world. It's just so goofy. If you can definitely find a copy, I'd definitely pick it up. Don't expect like Call of Duty type like action, but it's definitely like a guilty pleasure, I guess you could say. Which brings me to its sequel, which just came out, Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. A very good game. Definitely not as good as the first one, but it's definitely a very interesting and definitely very goofy game. The interesting thing is, this game, and I think this is now one of the new things, does not come with a manual anymore. I think that's one of those new green initiatives that they have, which is, you know how I feel about green stuff. I fucking hate it. They can shove that green shit up their ass. But yeah, so now this game and a few other games nowadays are going to start not coming with manuals. They have digital manuals now. Too much effort for me. Just print them out. The Earth is not going to die because of a game manual. And something I just found today, and is actually pretty hard to find nowadays, especially since they released the triple pack, is the Gears of War 2 Game of the Year edition. These are actually getting pretty hard to find nowadays. This does come with Gears of War 2 and all the DLC, which is pretty cool. It comes in the slipcover. It's still sealed because I already have the DLC downloaded and all that. And finally, a game I actually I forgot that I pre-ordered and I picked it up, and a game that I really actually wasn't really that thrilled to get is Duke Nukem Forever Balls of Steel Edition, with the bust of Duke and all the other crap that comes with it, like that. But this game sucks balls. This game is so unbelievably terrible. It's kind of hard to put into words. It just feels like a very, very, very old game. Pick up at your own risk, I'll just say that. It is hideously terrible. The only reason I picked this up is because GameStop was having a sale for 20 bucks off the collector's edition, so I'm just like, fuck it. So here it is. Pick it up at your own risk. That's all I got to say. So that's pretty much it for my pickups. Keep an eye out for my final shelf tour tomorrow. Thanks for watching.